Welcome back. Whether you're expecting your first child or a parent to growing children, everyone needs to have certain documents at hand. Here with more on what legal documents every parent needs is Ed Herman with Brown and Crouppen. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Let's start with birth certificates.
Yeah, the birth certificate's the obvious one. I mean, generally, if you give birth in a hospital, they have you fill out the application there. It's not always the best idea because sometimes the moms are still a little bit woozy. And there have been some classic typos and misspells that have happened on birth certificates. The more important thing is to make sure to keep a copy of it somewhere handy because you need that thing for just about everything you're going to have to do with your kid.
Absolutely. Social Security card, too.
Same thing with Social Security card. The most significant part of having a Social Security card for your baby is that that's what allows you to claim them on your taxes. And you want to claim that baby on your taxes. So normally, again, there's usually an application right there in the hospital. But if not, you can just go to the Social Security office, bring the birth certificate, I'm assuming, and get that going, because you got to get a Social Security number to claim them as a dependent. Okay,
next thing is a will or trust.
Yeah, a will or a trust, most people, when they think about a will, they're always thinking about their assets, you know, who's going to get my stuff. And then a lot of people think, oh, I don't really have much stuff. The bank pretty much owns my house. But it's still important to have it, because if you don't have one, then the laws of your state are going to dictate how your stuff is divvied up. And then more importantly, and I know this is part of the next one, is it's your opportunity to say who you want to have as the guardians of your children.
And this is like so painful. I don't want to think about it. It's just,
I know.
It's really tough.
Well, because you know in your heart nobody's going to take care of your kids the way that you would. But you got to get that out of your head and recognize that the reason you're doing this is because you're not going to be around. It's a sad thought, but it's a possibility. So you have to start immediately thinking to yourself who would be the next best option, even if it's a drop-off. Last thing you want to do is have your family members or friends fighting over your kids at a time like that.
Oh, that would be so horrible.
Yeah.
So get those guardianship documents in order. And then the immunization records.
Immunization records, start them on day one, because they start giving your kids shots in the hospital. And, eventually your pediatrician will have a really good record of all your immunizations, and you can always get a printout from them. But you want to make sure right out of the gate that everything they're getting, you're keeping an active list of what did they get, what dates, whether they're due for a follow-up. That's going to be important, not just for maintaining their proper health, but if you plan to register them in any kind of school or if you plan to travel abroad, you're going to need to have immunization records.
And custody orders?
Custody orders, yeah. I mean, if you're in a split situation, it's good to have a copy of your custody orders with you, just in case you have to pick your kid up at daycare or at school, and you're not the normal parent that's picking them up and they give you a hard time. Sometimes having a custody order in hand can at least show to the school that you're authorized to take the child.
And how do you keep these documents at the ready? What's the best way?
I think the smart thing to do is, first of all, you should keep them in a Ziploc, just so they're waterproof. And then a small house safe. It doesn't have to be the kind of house safe where you store your valuables, and it doesn't have to be that good. But somewhere that they're secure, they're in a safe, in my home, that's really the best way to keep them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Such important information for parents.
It's the stuff nobody thinks about,
I know. And if you need legal advice, give the experts at Brown and Crouppen a call at 314-222-2222 or visit them online at getbc.com. You may not know this, but Brown and Crouppen also has a pretty impressive YouTube channel. Just ask Ed, right, Ed?
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
Check them out on YouTube.